start this first round of the Thames Challenge Cup.
Attention, go!
Driving off the start there, City of Bristol, Ring Cup A. On your right-hand side of your screen, left-hand side of your screen, Hanover of Germany. And it's a strong start from City of Bristol, who look like they've just got the slip there.
Yeah, you can see them. They're off a very powerful start. The way they get their oars in the water, a little bit off course there. So they'll want to check in. They'll get a message from Matthew on that.
Yeah, quite aggressive steering there in the first 100 meters. You don't really want to see that from your cocks, but the river, you're going against the stream here, so it can certainly kick your bows out. But quite relaxed, punchy start there as we look down the boat there. City of Bristol, stroked by Ned Clark. Looks like he's in control.
Yeah, you know, this is their A boat. So if you're new to rowing, there's A boat and there's a B boat. So there's multiple crews entered into this race, and it just talks about the depth of the club.
Certainly you can get 2 boats into this category, the Thames Challenge Cup. This is a club-level open cruise. So these are the men that are competing. They'll probably have jobs around the edges, and they'll probably be competing and training in the mornings and the evenings. So they are not professional, but the level of training they put in is huge. And a great shot there of Temple Island, them coming right at us.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite shots when you get Temple Island in the background. You're just coming through the start of the race. You're settling into your rhythm, and it's amazing to see how these athletes perform. One of the things that's interesting, too, is just the age differences in these boats, the overall, just the average age. We have City of Bristol, an older crew, versus the Deutsche Ruder Club, and so we'll see if these young athletes can pull through. For many of them, for a couple of them, their first Henley Regatta.
Jonas Schief from the bow seat there, just quite relaxed actually for a crew that's behind. Normally you'd see them a bit more tense in the shoulders, but maybe this is their plan.
Yeah, you know, that relaxation is so important. Look at those oars in and out of the water, just together, the rhythmic nature of the sport, you know. In Boys of the Boat, they talk about the swing, and I love to see when crews actually get that swing and they're excited and they're moving the boat.
Yeah, Bristol have got the slip there. You see the barrier marker coming out. That's around 600 meters. Bristol have just got ahead. Barrier marker will tell us it's probably going to be just over a length because that barrier's not come up yet, but I think not far behind though, Hanover.
Yeah, you know what, they're putting in some good effort here. They're staying nice and relaxed. The crews are, you know, this is the time where you really want to make sure that you're staying in contact if you're getting behind, so that you can be there to make a move, that when your coxswain calls for that move, you're ready to attack.
Yeah, and there's some real pedigree in this Hanover crew. They're in the red, white and blue stripes. Bowman Jonas Schief mentioned already, a German champion in 2019. You've got German champions in lightweight 8. You've got people there that have raced at Henley already. The strokeman Cornelius Dietsch, he has raced here, so they know this feeling, and they're staying in touch here. They're not letting Bristol go.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about this Bristol crew, at least in my mind, is you have 2 brothers racing in the 4 and the 5 seat. And so that's like actually pretty wild. Only started rowing, David Boyles-Jones only started rowing in February of 24.
Wow, and he's up at Henley as we are passing through the Forley now. So they're going through past the halfway marker, and they've still got this slight advantage, Bristol. Best place to be, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know what? This is a long race, and it's so amazing because it's actually longer than 2K, which we normally do, 2,000 meters. And so you're going to see who has the endurance, who has the training, and can perform as we get into the later stages of the race.
Yeah, at this point here, through the middle of the race, it's kind of mind games. Yeah, it's super physical, but can you keep your hand in that fire? And the Hanover Cox, Lorelei Hesse, is going to be shouting at her crew, saying, you're right there, you're in contact, keep doing it.
Yeah, I love how you said that. This is the point where strategy comes into play, right? You're saying, we're going to make a move, and then it's like, can you come back? How are the other crew going to respond? So I love how this Hanover crew, they're staying in it, really staying relaxed, and the question is, will they be able to pull back into it?
And they know there's not much stream this year, so there's kind of a even playing field, because normally the river, you're rowing against the stream. There's different parts of the race where you have an advantage and disadvantage, but today, in this not rain much here in England, it's going to be fairly even.
Yeah, this is such a this Bristol crew. They've had a great year. You know, they're a really gritty crew, and I love the way right now this great drone shot you can see overhead. This side-by-side racing. This is what Henley is about right here. You know, Deutschland has the opportunity right here to make that move and pull back in it, and it looks like they're pulling up a little bit.
They haven't given up hope, Akil. They're right in it. They're right in it. It's about a third of a length here. What have they got as they move through this quieter zone through the middle of the course? They're about to hear the roar. Have they got any supporters here in the stands?
And this is where it's going to get crucial right here. You know, that Bristol crew is going to hear, you can hear it right now. They're starting to cheer. And this is the point where the coxswain has to make a decision. It looks like they're pulling up and they've gained some seats on that Bristol boat. And right now they're digging deep. Here's the move from that coxswain.
They're moving. Hanover are moving. Has Bristol, City of Bristol, have they got a response here? Because they're just absorbing that push. Is it enough absorption to hold off Hanover?
And here's the momentum. We'll see if they can stop that momentum. Right now, when a crew is moving on you, you just want to put a nail in the coffin and say, all right, we're halting your move. You're not going to move on us anymore. And right now, it looks like, oh, they may be holding a little bit, but Deutschland has the momentum right now.
Yeah, they're looking like they're having a strong finish, but Bristol just held onto it. Now, you've got to remember, they've just raced 5 minutes, and then their coxswain is asking them to sprint, and that's what's going on now. And I think Bristol have cracked them. Hanover had a good shot, but they're holding it at half a length.
Yeah, and this is the important part, right? This is the counter. You spoke about sort of what are you going to do in the middle of that race? How are you going to compose yourself? And right now, it looks as though Bristol has said, okay, you've taken your shot, now here's ours.
They've dropped the hammer as well, and they've moved. So both crews have a bit of a ding-dong there, but Bristol heads up, hips up, breathe up, because you're going to be going through to the later stages of this race. The coxswain's got to stay on course, but as they come here, past the floating grandstand, past the crowds, we see them take their final stroke in the first round of this Thames Challenge Cup. Victorious in a cracking race. It's City of Bristol Rowing Club A take the win over Deutsche Ruder von 1884 EV Hanover, Germany.
That was a great race. You know, you can see it in the athletes right now. And one of my favorite things is about to happen, where they cheer for each other.